2047's forbidden romance, a human and a starborn being. The year 2047 was supposed to be a triumph for humanity. After decades of effort, the United Earth Coalition finally completed the Horizon Array, a deep space communication lattice orbiting the Moon, capable of transmitting quantum-entangled signals across interstellar distances. Its purpose? To search for signs of intelligent life. Its unspoken purpose? To prove humanity was not alone. But none of the array's creators expected a reply, and certainly no one expected what, or rather who, would step through the transmission gate just 6 months later. Chapter 1: The Arrival. The night sky over lunar base Vega glimmered with a pale, cold light. Technician Aria Vance, age 29, was on her usual overnight shift, running spectral diagnostics on the array. She sipped recycled coffee from a metal cup, tapping her foot in a restless rhythm. Life on the Moon had flattened into a lonely red dust routine. Explore. Inspect. Report. Repeat. At 2:14 station time, the quantum receptors began to vibrate, a subtle hum that Aria first mistook for a sensor malfunction. Then the floor shook. A column of pure silver light erupted in the center of the array platform outside the base, splitting the lunar dust into a radiant whirl. Aria froze, the coffee slipping from her grasp and floating upward in shimmering globules in the low gravity. The light twisted, coiled, then collapsed inward in a silent implosion. Someone, some being, was left standing in its place. Tall, luminous, humanoid, draped in a form of shimmering, translucent material that shifted color with every breath the creature took. Their eyes, if they could be called eyes, were enormous, deep pools of opalescent violet. Aria stumbled backward. "Control, this is Vega Station Tech Vance, do you read? Something just." The being lifted a hand, not threatening, more like a plea. A gentle voice resonated directly inside her mind. "Do not fear. I mean no harm." Aria inhaled sharply, not because the words were alarming, but because of the warmth behind them. Who are you?" she whispered aloud. The being tilted their head. "My name does not align with your languages, but you may call me Cael." Chapter 2: The Starborn. Within hours, the station was swarming with scientists, generals, linguists, and politicians. Cael was escorted, carefully but undeniably guarded, into containment chambers designed for extraterrestrial encounters. Aria watched from behind transparent shielding as medical scanners swept the visitor from head to toe. Cael remained unbothered, their posture calm despite humanity's frantic, buzzing fear. One moment, their skin looked like polished silver. Another, like a field of nebulae swirling beneath a thin membrane. Their voice could shift from telepathic resonance to audible sound, soft, melodic, unmistakably intelligent. But it was Cael's eyes that Aria couldn't stop thinking about. Eyes that seemed ancient, lonely, and searching for something they had not yet found. When Aria was finally allowed to approach as part of the engineering team, Cael turned toward her instantly. "Aria Vance." Her name echoed in her mind like a stone dropping into a quiet pond. "I am glad you are safe." She nearly dropped the tablet she was holding. How do you know me?" Cael's expression softened. "You were the first face I saw upon crossing the threshold to this world. Your mind was open, filled with wonder and fear and hope." Aria flushed. "You could read my thoughts. Only what brushed against the surface. You think loudly. A hint of humor." She rolled her eyes despite herself. "I've been told that." That was the first moment she laughed, and the first moment Cael smiled. That same night, Cael revealed their purpose. They were a starborn, a being from a distant stellar civilization that existed not on planets but in the very spaces between star systems, creatures who manipulated gravitational fields as easily as humans breathe air. "For millennia," Cael explained, "we have watched your world. You were unpredictable, violent, yet exceptionally capable of love and creation. Then why come now?" Aria asked. Cael paused, their expression clouding. "We detected a disturbance, a signal, a tear forming in the cosmic weave near your system. It is not natural. Something threatens both your existence and ours." Aria swallowed hard. "A threat? To everyone?" Cael nodded. "And I cannot stop it alone." Chapter 3: Bonds and Shadow. Weeks passed as humanity scrambled to understand Cael's warnings. Teams of scientists and diplomats negotiated endlessly, while military officials insisted on studying Cael as a potential threat. Aria, however, had been assigned as Cael's primary engineering liaison. She spent hours at their side, analyzing star maps, deciphering gravitational anomalies, and learning small facets of Cael's culture. The more time she spent with Cael, the more difficult it became to ignore the strange, magnetic warmth that grew between them. One evening, during a quiet moment after a day of exhausting tests, Aria sat beside Cael's containment barrier. The station lights dimmed automatically. "Do you ever get tired of everyone staring at you like you're a weapon?" she asked softly. Cael's eyes flickered. "I do not resent it. Your people fear what they do not understand. But you look at me differently." Aria swallowed. "How do I look at you?" Cael stepped closer to the barrier, their face mere inches from the transparent divide. "As though you see a person." Aria felt heat rise in her cheeks. "You are a person." Many would disagree. She held their gaze. "Then they're wrong." The air hummed. Cael lifted a hand to the barrier, and instinctively Aria did the same. Their palms aligned, separated by nothing but a sheet of reinforced glass. A bright, warm pulse spread across the barrier where their hands met. Aria gasped. "What was that?" "A resonance. A joining of wavelengths." Cael's voice trembled. "It happens only when two beings are deeply connected." Aria's heart pounded. "Connected." Cael hesitated. "I should not speak it. It is forbidden among my kind to bond with an anchored, flesh-bound species." A sharp ache pierced Aria's chest. "Forbidden, because I'm human?" Cael bowed their head. "Because humans burn brightly but briefly. Because your lives are fleeting compared to the eons of the starborn. To bond is to grieve." Aria whispered. "I'd rather have something real and temporary than nothing at all." The barrier between them thrummed with energy, something alive, something shared. Chapter 4: The Cosmic Tear. 2 months after Cael's arrival, the Horizon Array detected a catastrophic shift in space-time just beyond the orbit of Neptune. A spiraling mass of gravitational distortion, the tear Cael had warned of, was expanding rapidly. Readings and spoke gravely. Aria felt ice and H. The coalition scrambled SH. "It is worse than anticipated. This fracture will consume your system within months." IPS, probes, and theoretical physicists. Cael examined the veins. "How do we stop it?" Cael turned to her with an expression she had never seen before, fear. "A starborn must enter the tear and anchor it from within. But doing so may cost my life." Aria's voice cracked. "No, there has to be another way." Cael touched her shoulder gently. "Aria, your world must survive. You must survive." Tears blurred her vision. She grabbed Cael's hand. "What about us?" For the first time, Cael could not speak. Chapter 5: Forbidden Hearts. Human officials forbade Cael from attempting the stabilization alone. They feared losing their only extraterrestrial ally. They feared what it meant to depend on something they barely understood. Aria, however, knew the truth. Humanity had no other choice, and Cael would risk themselves regardless. That night, Aria found Cael in the observation deck, gazing out at the stars. "You're going to leave," she said. Cael didn't turn. "If I do not, all will be lost." "I'm coming with you." Cael spun, eyes wide. "That is impossible. You would not survive the gravitational tides of a tear." "Then teach me. Protect me. There must be a way." Cael approached her slowly, their expression torn between duty and desire. "Aria, my heart pulls toward you in ways I do not understand. You have shown me a kind of courage and tenderness my kind has forgotten. But if you follow me, you may die." Aria stepped forward. "Then let's save the universe together, or die trying." Cael reached out, cupping her face in their luminous hands. "You speak like a starborn, and you love like a human," she whispered. Their foreheads touched. The world fell away. Chapter 6: Into the Dark. Against every regulation, Aria helped Cael escape the base and reach the Horizon Array. They launched in a stealth shuttle toward Neptune, where the gravitational tear glowed like a violent wound in the fabric of reality. The tear was a swirling maelstrom of blue and violet light, bending stars into impossible spirals. Aria felt her bones vibrate from the sheer force. Cael extended a protective field around her, their body flickering between forms. Stay close to me. Feel what I feel. Move where I move. What happens when you stabilize the tear? Aria asked, gripping the harness. I will merge with it. My essence will become part of the cosmic lattice. I will not return. Aria's breath hitched. Cael! I can't lose you. Cael turned, brushing a glowing hand along her cheek. You gave me something my people abandoned long ago. A reason to feel. A reason to choose. The tear roared around them. But love can be sacrifice. Aria sobbed. Then let me sacrifice something too. She reached for the control console, overriding the shuttle's safety protocols. Aria, what are you doing? Cael cried out. She looked at them with fierce, burning eyes. We stabilize it together. You said humans burn brightly. Let me burn with you. Cael's eyes filled with shimmering light, tears, or something like them. You would give up everything. For you, she whispered. For all of us. Chapter 7, The Merging. The shuttle dove into the heart of the tear. Reality shattered. Sound twisted into colors. Light became music. Aria felt her consciousness stretch like a thread across infinity. Her heart pounded once, twice, then dissolved into a warm, radiant presence. Cael pulled her close, their essence merging with hers, guiding her through the storm. Hold on to me, Cael whispered in her mind. Together, they poured their energy into the tear, stitching its edges, sealing fractures, weaving stability into chaos. Aria felt her life force-ebbing, but Cael wrapped her in a cocoon of starlight. Time ceased to exist. Then, with a final explosive burst of radiant energy, the tear collapsed inward and vanished. All was silent. In the darkness afterward, Aria drifted in a surreal, weightless void. Cael, she whispered. A soft glow formed beside her, a warm hand taking hers. Aria, you live. She felt her consciousness settling back into her body. Cael, now dimmer, weaker, held her as though afraid to let go. You saved me, she murmured. No, Cael said softly. You saved us both. Epilogue, Starbright. Aria awoke aboard a recovery vessel orbiting Saturn. Engineers and doctors crowded around her, astonished she was alive. But Cael was gone. Not dead, just vanished. Some claimed Cael transcended physical form. Others believed they returned to their people. But Aria knew the truth in her heart. Cael had become part of the cosmic lattice, a guardian woven into the fabric of space-time itself. Every night, Aria looked up at the sky from the observation deck of the restored lunar base Vega. The stars shimmered with new brightness, and among them, a faint violet glow pulsed like a heartbeat. A presence she could still feel. A whisper across the void.